this afternoon I'm going to attempt to make pumpkin pie. Sorry, my camera is really giving me a lot of troubles, guys. So it's gonna be gluten-free because, as I mentioned in a previous video, I'm getting tested for celiac and stuff, and I just feel better with that in my diet. I find it makes my joints really bad and a lot of pain. It makes my PMS really bad. Anyways, we'll see how that goes because it's really hard. Anyway, so yeah, here's all my ingredients. I've never made pumpkin pie before in my entire life. So we're gonna see how it goes. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this gluten-free pantry perfect pie crust. So here's the ingredients. As you can tell, it's not a vegan recipe, but I am modifying it to be so. So my camera is still not working. Hold on. I'll focus this for you guys. Okay, so as you can see, there is regular butter, eggs, whatever. So I'm using flax eggs and I'm using vegan margarine. And I'm doubling this recipe. So that's why it looks like I'm putting a ton of butter in it, because technically I am, because I'm making for 2 recipes. So let's try this out. That's my 2 box mixes. So next it says to cut the cold butter into pats and then work the pats into the mixture until it's crumbly. So we can do that. So now that I have my butter incorporated, you can see it's very crumbly and good. The next step is to whisk the eggs and the vinegar. So that's my flax egg. I probably didn't add enough water because normally I do. Anyways, yeah, normally I don't add enough water for whatever reason. So calls for 4 teaspoons of vinegar. I'm going to use apple cider vinegar, and so that means I need 8 teaspoons because I'm doubling up the recipe, as I said. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that almost equaled the whole bottle. 6, 7, and 8. I mean, obviously you don't have to use apple cider vinegar. It just says vinegar on the recipe. I had apple cider vinegar. I just figured I'd use it for something because I never do. So it says whisk until foamy, but I don't know if that's going to happen because it's not a real egg. So it doesn't really get foamy, but it kind of is. So yeah, we're just going to whisk that up. Mix into the dry ingredients. Okay, so here's our dry ingredients, which I think is wrong because it's not really dry, it's buttery. So we are going to mix this all together until it holds together. And I don't know if anybody else has tried vegan baking, but normally it doesn't work out as well, and you kind of have to modify things. And if that's the case, I'm not in very good shape because I used both my boxes and mixed it once, and that's all I have. So I'll end up having to make pie crust from scratch, which I've also never done. So yeah, I'm just gonna mix this in until it's all incorporated and sticking together. Alright, so I bought the E.D. Smith Pure Pumpkin. So there's nothing in it, it's just pure pumpkin. And my spoon is dirty, so I need another one. Can't find one. Okay. So this is like the big can, so this will hopefully give me enough for 2 fillings, and if it doesn't, well, that's it, I guess. That's life. And that is my life. So the recipe for this seems pretty easy. I don't have all of the spices it calls for. That's for, I mean, it calls for, oh yeah, I do. Never mind, don't mind me. I do have all those. So you need cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. Brown ginger, like dried, whatever. Okay, so that's my 1 tin of pumpkin. And then you have to whisk your egg, which obviously it's not an egg, so get out of here. I'm just gonna add that to my mixture and fold it in. Everybody, like, I'm bringing this in to work for treat day tomorrow, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, what's that brown stuff in there? Because obviously, like, it's not standard, I guess, for pumpkin pie to have flax seeds in it, but I mean, like, at least you're getting your healthy fats and your omega-3s and whatnot. You know, it never hurts to have extra flax seed in your diet. Okay, so that's that. Next, I just gotta get some ingredients prepared, and I will continue filming in a moment. Alright, so first I'm going to add my 2 cups of packed brown sugar. Obviously packed, you can see. And I'm assuming I just have to mix until it's thoroughly in there. I mean, that could be like too much sugar, I don't really know. Like I said, I've never made pumpkin pie before. Always enjoyed it. My mother always made it growing up, and it was my favorite thing in the world. That and her carrot cake. I mean, my mom is a fantastic baker. And she's vegan now too. So I'm sure she would appreciate the fact that I am making one of our favorite fall dishes into a vegan recipe. That's pretty much all mixed through. I'll make sure it's mixed after. So in this dish, I have 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a half a teaspoon of ground ginger, and a half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to mix that in through as well. And the last thing I'm going to add, I mean, we all know that there's no such thing as condensed milk for vegans. I mean, like, Tina Carnation milk does not exist in the vegan world, so I use the best alternative, which is just original full-fat, unsweetened coconut milk. And I added about 1/3 of a pack of Daiya cream cheese to it. I don't know if it's going to taste any good, but we're going to find out. So that seems to be fairly well mixed in there now. And this is my mixture. So you can see it's very thick. It's very creamy. Like, I mean, you can't get much better than that, can you? Like, I just hope that it bakes well and that it tastes good, because if not, we're in trouble. So I'll come back as soon as this is fully mixed and I have a taste, because I might have to remake this entirely. Alright, so I used my immersion blender to make sure my mixture was like super smooth, and it is. And it tastes really good. And I don't know what just happened to my camera. Dang it. Okay, just give me a second. Alright, I'm not gonna fiddle with that. I'm not gonna try to zoom in anymore. Yeah, so that's my filling, so I'm gonna have to cover that for a little while because my pie filling hasn't been chilling for long enough. But I'll be back soon. Alright, so now that my dough has been chilled almost an hour, I got impatient. So obviously it wasn't quite an hour, but I think that's okay. So now I'm gonna try to roll it, and I actually, I think that I accidentally made too much crust. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, I think I definitely made too much crust. but that's okay. Right? Right. Correct. That is okay. So I'm gonna add my extra crust just to the side for now because I don't want to deal with it. Sorry guys, I should have had this done before I start recording, and now my hands are full of pie crust dough, and I don't really want to change this. Okay, let's see if this will roll for me. Probably not. Like, I mean, do I even need to roll it? Can I just press it into my... I'm going to try to press it into my pie plate first. If that doesn't work, then I will try to roll it. But I'm thinking that I can just flatten it out and go from there. Alright, so I'll be back when this is done because it may not work and it might take me forever to do. Alright. So I didn't end up using my roller, I just ended up filling it. I mean, my pie crust is probably too thick. I don't know, like I've never made a pie like I said before. But I just kind of filled it in this thing, and I'm hoping for the best, basically. Hopefully, it's good. So now I just gotta do the other one, then I'll do my filling. So now that my pie crusts are done, and I had extra pie crust, so I just did these muffin tins. I'm just gonna pour my batter into the pie crust and hopefully not drop it. And like, I don't really know how much pie filling needs to go in there. So like, who knows? Maybe this is enough. We'll see. That looks normal. That looks like the pictures I've seen online of the pumpkin pie. This looks about how much it's filled normally. So unfortunately I can't bake these until I get back from my exam. It's almost supper time now and I won't have use of the oven until after my exam. But I will come back as soon as I'm done and I'm ready to pop these in the oven. Okay, so my other lens officially kicked the bucket. Yay! Slash not, because I'm broke and I can't afford a new one. Anyways, so before I went to my exam this evening, I popped these little tiny pumpkin pies into the oven, kind of as a test run sort of thing. Anyways, I have the oven preheating now, so that I can put these beauts in there. I really hope that they turn out good because I gotta bring them to work, like I said, and if people like them at work, maybe then they'll think more about veganism. Anyways, yeah, so these things have to be cooked. I'll show you the instructions. See if I can focus it. Okay, yeah, you definitely can't read that. Let's focus in on this little cupcake pumpkin pie. So bake at 425 for 15 minutes and then reduce heat to 350 and continue baking for 30 to 35 minutes until knife inserted in center comes out clean. So let's give it a try and hope for the best. Came out of the oven and then I had to chill overnight. Anyways, I think they came out fine. Crust looks a little bit burnt. I'm not too worried. I'm just putting real coconut whip on top. Tastes really good. anyways, wish me luck, guys.